Welcome back to the Black Corner. In this video, we're serving up some flavorful wisdom from Black chefs who have made their mark in the culinary world. From kitchens to culture, these chefs share some powerful insights about life and perseverance. Join us as we amplify their voices and be inspired by their words. Let's go! 1. I believe that there are no mistakes in the universe, so I think it all happens as it should. Carla Hall. Hall suggests a belief in fate or a larger universal plan, where everything happens for a reason, even if it's not immediately clear. Instead of seeing difficulties or setbacks as mistakes, see them as purposeful events that contribute to personal growth, development, or a broader life journey. This encourages us to accept and trust in life's process, rather than resisting or feeling regret over what happens. 2. Anyone who's had a messy time in life, once you get through it, it does make you more resilient. What you learn, you can use to help others. Lorraine Pascal. Life's messy or challenging moments, while tough to endure, ultimately strengthen your resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Once you have overcome these hardships, you gain valuable lessons that not only empower you, but can also be used to support and guide others going through similar struggles. It reflects the idea that personal hardships can serve a broader purpose by enabling us to give back and empathize with others. 3. Getting to a place of comfort can be uncomfortable. Marcus Samuelsson. This statement captures the paradox of growth and achievement. Marcus Samuelsson acknowledges that the journey to achieving comfort, whether in our personal lives, careers, or mindset, often involves discomfort, challenges, and sacrifices. Before we reach a state of ease or stability, we must endure difficult, often uncomfortable, stages. These hardships, however, are necessary for our growth and eventual success. 4. Sometimes racism takes the form of ugly words and actions. Other times it remains unspoken, communicated by hostile looks and secret snickers. But the most corrosive form, and often the hardest to address, is not being seen at all. Kwame Onwuachi. Kwame Onwuachi is addressing the various ways racism manifests, from overt expressions to more subtle, insidious forms. But even when it's silent, it can be deeply damaging, particularly when it involves being ignored or made to feel invisible. Overt racism that is easy to recognize, whether in slurs, hate speech, or violent actions. These are clear forms of discrimination. Subtle forms of racism, on the other hand, which are expressed through nonverbal cues like dismissive glances, whispers, or microaggressions. Though these might be quieter, they still convey exclusion and hostility. However, the deep and often invisible experience of being completely disregarded or ignored due to one's race. This type of racism involves exclusion, erasure, or being invisible in social and professional spaces. It's corrosive because it erodes a person's sense of identity and worth over time, and it can be the hardest to confront since it's not always acknowledged as a form of racism. It undermines a person's very existence by denying them recognition. 5. You don't stop living because bad things happen. You keep going. Gina Neely. These words encourage us to continue living our lives fully, even when things go wrong, because life must carry on despite the tough times. Be persistent and no matter what, keep pushing forward. 6. So much was lost, names, faces, ages, ethnic identities, that African Americans must do what no other ethnic group, writ large, must do: take a completely shattered vessel and piece it together. Michael W. Twitty. Twitty's quote speaks to the collective trauma and unique challenge African Americans face in trying to reconstruct what was lost, not just for individual families, but for an entire community. He addresses the loss of personal and cultural identities due to the brutal history of slavery, where people were forcibly disconnected from their ancestry, languages, and cultures. Many African Americans cannot trace their heritage or family histories in the same way other ethnic groups can, as these records and connections were often deliberately destroyed or lost. Thus, as a collective group, they face a unique and monumental task of reconstructing their heritage from the broken remnants of the past. It reflects a communal struggle to heal and restore what was shattered by slavery. 7. We all have times that are a little bit dark, but the thing that we must remember is, they're always temporary, and they will pass. Tabitha Brown. This quote reminds us that dark times are not permanent. No matter how difficult or painful a situation may seem, it will eventually improve. So take it a day at a time. Do not overthink, overanalyze, or overstress. Accept that some days you may be better than others, but eventually you will be all right. 8. Life is a journey. We don't all find ourselves immediately. Naisha Arrington. Life is not about reaching a destination quickly, but about the experiences, lessons, and personal development that occur along the way. Self-discovery and understanding your purpose or identity can take time. It's normal for people to take different paths and timelines to figure out who they truly are. There's no fixed schedule for finding your place in the world, and it's okay for that process to be gradual. These words are reminding us that finding our true selves is a unique and often long-term journey for each person. 9. This is one insidious outcome of a system that has been built from its very inception by white people and on the backs of the black community. Simply put, whites have amassed wealth and blacks have not. That's not liberal bullshit. It's the truth. Mashama Bailey. There are harmful and deeply embedded consequences of structural racism that have existed in America since its founding. This system, as Bailey points out, was created by white people to benefit themselves, often through the exploitation and oppression of black people, particularly through slavery and segregation. The economic foundation of the U.S. was constructed largely through the unpaid labor and suffering of black people. While white communities were able to accumulate wealth, black communities were systematically denied the same opportunities, resulting in a significant racial wealth gap. This disparity in wealth is a direct result of centuries of systemic policies, including slavery, Jim Crow laws, redlining, and discriminatory economic practices. Thus, the deep, ongoing economic inequality between black and white communities in America is rooted in its history of systemic racism and exploitation. 10. Great cooking is about being inspired by the simple things around you: fresh markets, various spices. It doesn't necessarily have to look fancy. G. Garvin. The quote encourages simplicity in cooking. Great dishes come from an appreciation of fresh, quality ingredients and creativity with basic elements, not from complicated recipes or fancy presentations. It's about elevating simple things into something delicious and satisfying. In conclusion, these chefs have not only shaped the culinary world with their skills but have also shared wisdom that goes beyond the kitchen. Let their insights inspire you to explore your own creativity and to appreciate life's ups and downs in reaching your desired destination. Until next time, stay inspired.